Hello everybody and welcome to the ongoing Peteman reviews of various Transformers. Okay, so now we move on to some of the Micromasters. So in this episode we start off with the Decepticon Micromaster Transformers. Now these four are some of the very first wave of Micromasters, and as a result they're some of the more, not unique colours or unique toy moulds because they've since been used many times in other releases. However, what they also have is had quite a considerable amount of screen time, or perhaps I should say comic time, compared with some of the other Transformers that are out there, particularly some of the other Micromasters who either didn't appear at all in comics or only appeared for a short period. These guys, in the meantime, had quite a lot of that time, particularly this guy, who is Stormcloud, who appeared in several stories by himself. Okay, so in terms of order through them all, so we start off here. So the guy in blue is called Tailwind, obviously Stormcloud we've just seen, Whisper, and Night Flight. So of them guys here, I personally think that Whisper perhaps looks the best of them all. Quite exactly what he's meant to be. It's obviously meant to be a stealth jet of some sort, but they're all somewhat unique designs, so you can't quite pimp out what he is. It looks perhaps more like he actually looks a little bit like the Firefox from the film Firefox. Not quite the same, but he's not that dissimilar to it. Then you get the more. It's not turboprop plane because it's got the jets, but kind of like the Tank Buster, I think it's the A-10 Warthog, and then you have various others which kind of look a bit like a Tomcat. I'm not quite sure what he's meant to be per se, but again, it's similar kind of thing. So that's the jet modes. I say they're pretty good jet modes. It has to be said. They're probably some of the best Micromasters out there in terms of jets. Transformation for all Micromasters is fairly simple and fairly universal. So it always helps. You start off with a jet like that, and then you turn it over, and you can see how things are meant to be with the head at this end. So you start off by just flipping this back. The tails, actually you probably don't want to flip that back first of all because you want to move the whole rear of the jet up, like so, down, and that becomes the feet. Looks like that. These do just flit to the side here, so it doesn't stick out too much. And then you've got the little arms there. So that's one transformation. So same this side, well, it's not the same, but it's a similar concept. So the wings flip back like that. Now here, there's nothing to flip down, but this does flip up to produce the stand there he stands on. And then the whole rear part here does kind of slide like this. There we go. So you've now got a slightly longer leg, and then we'll just flip up the arms like that. He's transformed. Onto this one. So this is basically exactly the same transformation as you can see. So the tail, the wings flip like that, flips up like that, and then this flips down to produce a slightly longer one. So it's exactly the same transformation we just had for Whisper, which you'll often find with the Micromasters. They're usually, within the groups, you've usually got two different kinds of transformation, and then same. Now this one's a little bit different with the amounts you've got to, the different bits to look at. So you've got these flip down here, and this actually moves the arms around like this. His arms, as a result, are static. They don't go up or down. You either have no arms or you have arms, which is a little bit of it's not a flaw, it's just a bit odd. But again, you see you've got the legs flipping down like this, and then this bit will just, actually this bit doesn't do anything, there's nowhere for it to move. This is your final product. Okay, so simple transformations. I'm going to zoom in a bit so you can actually see some of them. Simple transformations, but you know, they all work. This guy's the only one with a slight different transformation. The other three are all very, very similar transformations with the legs, and this guy's the only one who doesn't have movable arms. But they are reasonably distinctive in their looks. Obviously the middle two are the most similar in their looks, but the colour schemes have at least been reversed. So you've got black in the middle on one, and purple in the middle on the other, and then outside you've got purple and black. So they at least have some visual distinguishing features. Otherwise, zoom in on these two. You see, the detail's not too bad at all, considering they are pretty small guys. They've got a fair amount of detail to them. Size-wise, we'll just compare them against a modern release, the Headmaster Skull Cruncher. And again, you know, they actually scale very well. Remember, Micromasters are meant to be small, and they're about, what, kneecap size? Seems about right, doesn't it? So they scale very well compared to the modern releases, and they scale very well to the releases at the time. Bear in mind, the first wave of Transformers were a bit shorter, and the second wave were some were taller, some weren't when these guys were around. So these guys came around shortly after the first wave of Pretenders, who were quite tall. Once you got the smaller range Pretenders, then perhaps the scale is lost a bit. But it works well. So that is the Decepticon Air Strike Patrol. A very good range of Micromasters, and definitely worth picking up. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.